All right, welcome. Welcome in today. 9 days until the baseball season starts. 9 days. It's coming. It's coming. Let me know if you are the same as me. I'm finding myself more interested in spring training games than I am the World Baseball Classic. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But I'll be honest, I just have not been into it. But that's not the topic for today. We've got 9 days until the Major League Baseball season starts. Thanks for being here. My name is Rick. Today, we're going to talk about the fact that baseball celebrations are totally out of control. Totally out of control. You know it and I know it. It's outrageous. It's crazy. The showboating, the nonstop histrionics. It's finally time for somebody to say it like it is. And before you say, I'm a boomer, I'm telling you, I'm not a boomer. I'm not a boomer. But the truth is, this just is not good. When a guy can't even hit a single or maybe leg out a double without some histrionics and some dancing act and all kinds of nonsense, it's gotten way beyond guys having fun or showing emotion. It's gotten so far beyond all of that. It's out of control these days with players. And I think, obviously, we've seen it so much during the World Baseball Classic, and I can't argue. The emotion in the World Baseball Classic is awesome. It's great when baseball fans go out and enjoy themselves. But some of this stuff, come on, look at this. Some of this is not great. This is not great. Whether it was Jose Bautista, any of the players in the current generations, this stuff just is not great. It's back in my day, a guy would hit a home run, put his head down, and that was that. He acted like he had been there before. By the way, yesterday we did the program on Bo Bichette and Marcus Semien. Nice day by Bo Bichette, even though spring training doesn't mean anything. Spring training stats, but a home run and a double. Nice. We talked about that yesterday, about how the New York Mets should expect a lot from him. And if you missed that video, go check it out. We talked about the positives and one of the big looming question marks, one of the danger zones for the Mets. So check that one out yesterday. But we're talking today about showboating. Back in my day, when players walked out there without helmets, with the tiny little baseball mitt, without lights on the stadium, back in my day, players would hit the home run, round the bases, and greet their team in the dugout. I just can't take it anymore. The showboating. I can't take it. It's beyond what my stomach can handle when I'm watching a game. I mean, back in my day, let's take a look. Back in my day, what it was like. This is what it was like back in my day. Ricky Henderson. This is how he would pimp a home run. This is how Ricky would do it. He would take a couple steps, pull the shirt, and that was that. Maybe pull the shirt again. There you go, Ricky. That's how Ricky did it. That was it. And that was considered crazy back then. Crazy. And these days, that's tame. That is tame nowadays. Back then, ooh. I'll tell you a story about Ricky Henderson pimping the home run because it's pretty funny. As you know, I was in minor league baseball for 7 years, broadcast in the Tampa Bay Devil Rays organization, also the Texas Rangers, and finished up with the Yankees AA team in Norwich, Connecticut. And players used to talk about big leaguers. Obviously, a lot of them, they were buddies. They shared agents. They shared, obviously, if they were in the same organization, they knew each other. And I remember this one coach, great guy. He told me he was from the West Coast, and he said, "Rick, do you ever see Ricky Henderson pimp a home run?" And Ricky Henderson was my favorite player. So yes, I saw him pimp a home run a lot, and I loved it. And he said, "We actually work on that in Oakland." I said, "What do you mean?" He said Ricky Henderson would hold pimping practice. He said he would bring all the guys out to a local field in California, in the Oakland area where Ricky was from, and they would practice these things. Ricky would say, "Okay, do a number one." And that would be like a tug of the shirt. And then he'd say, "Okay, I do a number two." And that would be like a stutter step and a tug of the shirt. Do a number three. That would be like a flip of the bat, a tug of the shirt, and a stutter step. But Ricky was teaching how to pimp home runs. He was doing his own little school. So that's what it was like 30 years ago. But what it is today has taken it to an obscene level. Tell me if you think I'm wrong, but it actually hurts my enjoyment of the game. It hurts my enjoyment of the game. That's what Ricky did. That was crazy back then. Nowadays, that would be tame. That would be nothing. Take Otto Lopez, for example. Saw a highlight of him yesterday for the Marlins. He went yard, put his head down, ran around the bases, and that was that. And I thought to myself, that's the way it should be done. That's the way it used to be done back when baseball was more traditional. And I was never a fan of the wild card. I was never a fan of interleague play. All of these things. I've come around on the wild card. I don't like it expanded. I've come around. 3 divisions, maybe 1 wild card. That would be my preference. But interleague play, I'm still not a fan of. We've always had interleague play. It was called the World Series. But I digress. So yesterday, Otto Lopez did it right. He hit a home run, rounded the bases. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you think this is the proper way it should be done, or if you prefer the Jose Bautista, the Ricky Henderson, or any of the players you see nowadays. You can't even end up on second base without doing all kinds of nonsense, doing a dance, a spin, a ballet dance, and a jig. It's insane. It's just insane. And I know baseball fans agree with me. Maybe not all. Maybe if you're 18 years old, you love the attitude and the craziness that goes on after every single play. But I prefer the traditional baseball because as we move along here, the third item, they're looking for the lowest common denominator. And you know that's true. They're aiming for the casual fan. Major League Baseball is looking for that casual 18-year-old boy who cares about attitude and excitement and all this stuff. I mean, the NFL did it, allowing celebrations. And now people are saying baseball is creeped up and is now more popular than the NBA because of this. I don't think it's because of this. I don't tune in to see a home run derby with guys showboating and all these histrionics. I don't tune in for that. I'm more of a baseball purist. Let me know about you, but I prefer the thinking man's game. I prefer the hit and run, the swiping a bag, the strategy, a pitching change, who's going to match up against who. That's the kind of baseball I like. I don't prefer the home run derby with guys throwing bats and screaming over into the dugout and then putting on crowns and all the nonsense they do in the dugout now after home runs. I'm not a fan of that. But at the same time, I will say that I'm more interested in Major League Baseball right now at the beginning of this season than I have been in many, many years. For a lot of reasons, I think it's more to do with me than baseball. But, I mean, I've talked with plenty of fans who have walked away. I mean, obviously, a lot of people have walked away from the NBA for a lot of reasons. And a lot of fans have walked away from baseball, too. By the way, stay tuned here on the live stream. At the end, we're going to get to our tip of the day for sportscasters. And we're going to do a little Q&A. So if you have any sportscasting questions that you would like answered, great chance to do it. But anyway, baseball, they're aiming for the lowest common denominator, and you know it's true. And what that does, and you've seen it all over X, which we're going to look at in just a second. You've seen it from coaches. You've seen it from baseball people, where they say the game now has built the worst habits, poor habits, which are really the worst habits in young players. They are trained and brought up to do the nonsense, to do the showboating. It's almost like it's expected now. And that's not the kind of baseball that you and I want to watch. Tell me if I'm wrong. Subscribe to the program if you haven't already. I mentioned yesterday we did that preview with Bo Bichette and Marcus Semien. Got some cool things coming up here at the Sportscasters Club. We are your place for sportscasters if you want to become a better sportscaster or a better sports fan. And obviously you can see a lot at sportscastersclub.com. But following the YouTube program is the best place to follow us. So tonight's the big final. It's the USA and Venezuela. Let me know if you're going to be watching. Like I said, I find more enjoyment watching the spring training games than the WBC. That's just me. That's just me. A lot of people feel differently, but we're going to take a look. I told you that the era of showboating creates bad habits in players. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of the bad habits. Let's take a look at this one. You can see he hits a long fly ball, admires. Oh, look at that shot. Oh, look at that. Oh, I better run. I better run. Oh, I better run. See, that's exactly what this is creating. All this showboating and nonsense. It's exactly what it's creating. Here's one more look. Oh, he's admiring it. Oh boy, better run. Now that's obviously happened forever. How about this one? How about this one? Doing a little bit of an act, chopping wood. Oh, he's excited, and he gets tagged out. Oops, 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 he's tagged out because he's too busy doing all the nonsense. It's just difficult to watch. And how about this one? Let's see. Or this is the one we already saw. Yeah, that's the one we already saw. How about this? Well, this is what we've been seeing for a while. I'm going to turn the volume off. Let's see. Okay, that's muted. Here we go. This is the kind of stuff that I can't take. It turns me off from the game. It really does. It turns me off because, and it's too bad because I admire the players. I admire the athleticism, but all this stuff, staring into the dugout and and it's been going on for years. It's just difficult. The admiring the home run like this, the attitude, and then all this stuff. Yeah, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. It's not my thing at all. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you do like it or if you don't, but it's certainly not my thing. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. We talked about what was over on X. Now we're going to do our sportscasting tip of the day. If you have any questions and answers for sportscasting questions, now's the time to ask them. But we're going to nitpick a little bit, talk about our sportscasting tip of the day. Yesterday, I'm listening to a spring training game, and the broadcaster, it was the top of the fourth inning, third out was made, and he says, we are halfway through here at wherever they were down in Florida. Could have been Arizona. I think it was Florida. And that's always been a pet peeve phrase of mine, halfway through. And I hear it a lot. It's very common in baseball. But here's why. I'm from the Marty Glickman school, where we want to be precise with our language. Precise. We want to be precise and nail it exactly, accurately with the language we choose. And halfway through the fourth inning or the fifth inning, if I say we are halfway through, let's say the game goes extra innings. That means that point was not halfway. So maybe I'm being extra crotchety about it, but when a broadcaster says we are halfway through, in baseball, there's no way to know that. So I know it's a nitpick, but that's why I said this is the nitpick of the day. When a broadcaster midway through the game, between the top of the fourth and the bottom of the fourth, says we are halfway through, he has no way to know that, because he doesn't know if the game's going to end in 9 innings, or maybe it's going to end in 8.5 innings, or maybe it's going to go 12 innings, in which case saying we are halfway through was not accurate. So I know it's a nitpick, but we want to be precise. We want to be precise as a broadcaster. So you'll hear broadcasters say this phrase. You'll hear them say it all the time. My point when I coach sportscasters is try to be different. Try to be unique. Try to be unique. If everyone else says it, maybe you should try to be different, to stand out. If everyone says the same old tired, worn out cliches, you can stand out by not saying them and by saying something different. So if you're a sports fan that finds that interesting, subscribe to the channel. If you're a sports broadcaster or an aspiring sportscaster, subscribe to the channel. And we'll share a lot of that with you. That's what we talk about. A lot of those things that maybe other broadcasters don't. So one last time, just got to take one more time to see Ricky. There he goes, doing the pimp job. Looks at his teammates. This was actually a shot way up in the upper deck. Does a little pull of the shirt, and now he rounds first base, heads to second. That's Ricky. That's Ricky being Ricky. Boy, that was a shot. That was really a shot. But if you have any questions and answers, send them in, leave a comment. That's what we do here at Sportscasters Club. We talk about sportscasting. We talk about sports. So it's really for fans and for sportscasters. That's what we do at Sportscasters Club. But again, let me know if you're feeling this way about it. That's the way I'm feeling about it. Really is. That's the way I'm feeling. Maybe I'm out of touch with today's game. What do you think? Am I out of touch? I don't know. But like I said, I'm interested in the season starting. I'm interested in some of the new storylines. I think the Mets are improved. I think the Orioles are improved. Pirates are improved. We'll have to see if the Pirates can field the baseball, especially their outfield. There's always going to be a story with the Dodgers because they're loaded again. I'm expecting the Braves to have a bounce back year. Walt Weiss in the dugout. A lot of great storylines, I think. I think the World Baseball Classic, to me, detracts from that. And I know I'm I'm not in the majority with that opinion. But to me, it detracts because just now are all the players getting back to their teams and getting back to start working themselves into proper shape to start the season. And I don't mean physical shape. I just mean baseball shape, getting back into the flow, getting used to the team, getting used to the personnel, your teammates, the dynamics, all of that. And baseball is a different game. It's kind of individual. So it's not as important as maybe the NBA where you've got 5 guys. And so a baseball player can pop in and out. But I like it when the players all get back together and then they head out and they get ready for the season. 9 days. 9 days until Major League Baseball opening day. And by the way, it's MLB opening day. It's not the MLB. How many dopes do you hear on the air or see on X when they say, well, what are we talking about today in the MLB? There's no the. There's no the in the MLB. It's Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball. So there's no the Major League Baseball. That sounds silly. It's not like NHL, NBA, NFL. Those, the NFL. Great. But with Major League Baseball, it's just Major League Baseball. There's no the. So there's, again, I've probably given 3 examples today of how I'm a crotchety old man. Get off my lawn. Stop doing all the nonsense and all the gyrations and dances and ridiculous nonsense when you hit a home run, when you hit a double, when you get to first base sometimes. So that's how I'm an old man. Number 2, I told you I don't like interleague play unless it's the World Series. And this one, I also told you that I'm just a traditionalist in baseball, and I'm a stickler with the language too. So you may agree, you may not, but that's my opinion. Make sure to subscribe. If you are just joining us, make sure to head back to the beginning and see all the different things we talked about regarding players that just can't hit a home run and run around the bases. They've got to do all this nonsense, flipping their jerseys and chains flying all over and doing all this to their teammates in the dugout. I know it's been going on for years. It annoys me. I just want to see a guy hit a home run. Just like I mentioned yesterday. I want to see a guy hit a home run around the bases. That's what I want to see. And that's why when I talked about it a few minutes ago, I specifically brought up Otto Lopez. He hit the home run yesterday, put his head down, and it was such a rarity that I noticed it. It was such a rarity. He put his head down and he circled the bases. And I said, man, that's awesome. That's a professional. That's someone that I want my young team of ball players to emulate and follow. Hit the home run, put your head down, run around the bases, and get off my lawn. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us here at Sportscasters Club. Make sure to subscribe. My name is Rick, and we'll catch you next time.